Hello everyone, welcome back. I do hope you've had a marvelous week. I most certainly have. Gearing up towards Christmas, obviously, for those of you who celebrate it. And I have missed a day somehow. Somehow, I have completely missed a day. So hence, this is a day late, this video, this tutorial, but nonetheless, here I am. So we're going to continue with this portrait, this model. Excuse all the children in the background, but yeah, the estate is full of young, bubbling, playful children, so there may be quite a bit of noise in the background. We're going to continue with this portrait. This is where we were at last week. We had done blending on it after we laid down very, very light 2H onto the actual paper. This is a toned paper. This is the Canson that I was telling you about. That's supposed to be for pastel, but I'm not mad about it on pastel at all. So I'm trying it with graphite, and I have to say that I'm loving it. So maybe this is what I need to use it for my own. Sorry, I'm just busy cleaning off this piece of glassine paper that I've got to rest my hand on. Yeah, so this might actually be what I end up using it for, which is great. At least I end up using the actual paper and not wasting it. So with no further ado, let's continue. I'm going to go into the hands. So what I've done is I've lined it up with the marks that we made, the original marks that we made at the top and the bottom of the paper. I've lined it up with that. And what we're doing is we're now doing negative painting, negative drawing, because this area here is dark, and that is that line there. And I'm now going to put in her jersey, the end of the sleeve of her jersey. So that's that line there. And then I'm going to put in that bangle of hers, which is at a slightly different angle to that, and it has a shadow. So you can see that it's at a completely different angle to what that is. And all I'm doing is I'm just laying down a little bit of graphite. I'm hoping that you can all see it, just at that angle. Remember, we can always erase it. It's not cast in stone. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in an effect for that jersey. Down here, it does go into shadow, and up here, it is quite light. And that's what I'm doing, just putting that in. And then her hand, obviously this is all shadow here, and this is what we're going to be drawing. So if I use points, remember I said to you always use points. If I use points and angles, and I take the same point and the same angle, you can see that her fingers end here, the end of her knuckle on her baby finger ends here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lightly draw that in. It's another finger that comes down, and then her hair is obviously finishes off that area. And this is a lot of negative space here too. So if we take her hair around, so it goes up that way, and some beautiful strands of hair that are loose and not too bound down to her face. So if we take that like that, we can almost, if we look at this, it goes almost across to the same point here, this point. We can start filling that in to get that shadow underneath her hand. So let's fill that in. It's a very, very soft edge. You can see that there's no hard edges there. And it comes around to her wrist here. I may have not got this exactly right, but let's have a look and see. This part of her hand comes along here, a slight bump, and then if we look at this angle, it is straight, And I definitely do not have this correct. So I might have too much here, or I've got too much hair. So I'm going to finish this. I'm going to continue here because this is what I'm seeing. This comes down, got those fingers, and this is shaded in behind her. So I just want to see where I've gone wrong here. So if I measure from that shadow, the edge of her, to here, I'm measuring from there to there, I can see that I'm completely out. So that is actually where this part of her shadow comes in. And if I measure this to the end of her hair, yep, goes here. So somehow I have completely misread that. And that is what is so wonderful about drawing and using graphite, because we can rectify it as we go along. It's as easy and as simple as that. So we don't want a, what's the word I'm looking for? A complete hyper-realistic type of drawing. What we are looking for, I just want to measure this from the end of the paper, and I do not have that correct either. So I'm going to measure it from the top because we did make the marks at the top. Let me just see. So it ends about here. I'm going to take this out, and then I want to see how far in it goes to the knuckle. And it goes in here. So either I've moved my drawing right over, which I think is what I've done. Yeah, no, I haven't. So it goes here. This is that knuckle. I think I'm just drawing far too much. My brain is telling me all kinds of funny things. So strange how some days you can control what your brain is telling you. Or not control, but you see. And you do what your hand is telling you. And other days your brain just says, whoa, hello, I'm here. So that is quite dark and light on the top, but we'll get that in a minute. And then the sleeve protrudes. Now we're going to do that. Trying to get that right. There we go. And this is all dark up here. It's all shaded up here. It's going to come in here. So here comes down here and it comes across. There's a beautiful highlight, a couple of beautiful highlights. We'll put those in a minute. Just want to get this shading in. I'm not going to put in the other arm. I'm just going to put in the one above her head. I think that that is enough. You are more than welcome to go ahead and put the other one in if you feel that that is needed. I'm going to do this. Blend it out. I love blending. I just think blending just adds the most incredible excuse me, feel and look to it. I love how it just softens everything. Gives it a totally different feel. Okay, now I need to fix this because this is where I've gone wrong. Goes up there. That will make it darker. Remember that this is a jersey, so you don't want to be blending that completely all graphite. This does not look right. This does not look right at all. That is at that angle, and I think I have, oh no, it's not, it is all right. I think it's here. Perhaps that needs to come in along here. Perhaps I have it a bit too fat. That's what's throwing me off. So let's do that. Okay, and we've got her finger, and this is going up into her hand. And this is obviously a lot darker here. Trying to work out that. Let me take her hair out here. There we go, that looks better. Immediately that looks better. Here we can make this a bit darker because the shadow is darker here. Obviously it's going into complete and utter shadow there. And this will be in shadow. And we can take out those highlights for her hair. I just want to get this right because we want to show that there are two fingers here. Right. I think that is more or less it. There we go. This is still soft. Coming up into her hand here. I must just take a little bit away from here. There we go. Right, so now what I'm thinking is that we start going in with the dark. We've got dark hair here. We have that shadow over her hair, so we can put that in. This softens up on the edge of her face, goes up in towards her mouth, and I think that that's just a shadow from the hair. We can perhaps put this in, which is dark. The bottom here. Just extend this down. I'm still using my 2H, by the way. I have not swapped out or gone to a darker pencil yet. We'll do that in a minute. And this is very, very dark, so you can go across your shading. There we go. So what I'm doing is I'm just extending this down to that point. I don't think I'm going to do the whole thing. We can have a look at it afterwards and decide. But I'm definitely going to do this point, this part over here. I love this deep dark shadow that her hair is giving us, and it's nice that it actually gives us that movement, that beautiful movement of hair. And then this is dark. We can go carry on down here and bring this around. There we go. Okay, let's blend it and let's see. Yep, that immediately smooths it out and makes it look much, much better. I'm really enjoying this texture for graphite. So weird that I don't enjoy it for pastel, but perhaps my mindset is different with regards to pastel. Perhaps I feel that it should be solid color, smooth, whereas with graphite, because I love texture in my drawings, I don't mind it. Perhaps that's what it is. Who knows? The brain is very, very fickle. Right, let's do that. Let's get that. Really, really liking this drawing. Loving the negative drawing that we've had to do in it as well. We've learned that in a lesson gone by, where I do have negative drawing. We did it with quite a few subjects, so you can look that up if you're interested in negative drawing and you haven't done those tutorials. All part of the sketchbook series. Now here you can see these are my fingerprints, and I knew it. I felt that my skin was a bit oily. I did put cream on, and I just knew it, and that's why I went and got this piece of glassine. But I've already put fingerprints down here, but that's fine. We'll fix that. We'll sort that out in no time. Right, so now I'm going to go to a 4B. I'm going to start in her eye area, so you can see that there are different tones here. I've already got 2 in there, and now I'm going to put in the third one. Just want to do it gently. We don't want to put down too much, because we want to be able to sort it out if we need to, and we don't want to be using a rubber at this stage, an eraser in this area, because if that happens, we're going to remove one of our layers, which is not really what you want. And also remember how much the graphite moves around when we start blending it. So you definitely don't want to be in a situation where you're having to use an eraser after you've laid down a beautiful mid-tone. You definitely don't want to be doing that. So there's a very, very definite line across here, so I just want to get that in. And this shadow actually comes down. I don't have it down across the top of her forehead enough, so I'm going to put that in. I'm going to put this in because that is dark. She's got this beautiful cheekbone, so we're going to put that in. Just taking it ever so slightly down. I want to go in. I know that I always say to you guys, use the side of your pencil, but I want to get this eye in here. We'll put in the eyelashes a bit further on. Okay, there's that eye, and this here is dark. Goes across the top of her nose. That is her nose that we are seeing there. Bridge of the top of her nose, not the bridge of her nose. Oh, slip of the pencil. It's not good. Right. Let's go in and blend that out. Look how beautifully that blends out. That is stunning. Absolutely stunning. And immediately, look at that. Look at what it gives it. Immediately, it is looking like a beautiful, beautiful drawing. Take that down there. She's got eyeliner on, which I'm hoping kind of looks like that once we've finished with her in this area. Bring that down. Remember to get this as a stark hard line, because that's what it is. take this across. It's also quite a stark, hard line. Right, we've got a beautiful, and you see what the beauty of this paper is. You can see that there are little highlights in here. That's her hair, her eyebrows are picking up, which is happening on there, which is absolutely fabulous. And if I look at this area here, the top of these eyebrows, we can just take out those little hairs there, just a little bit, doesn't need to be a lot. And I just want to deepen this area here. This needs to come down deeper, because that is obviously right in the inner corner of her eye. So let's just deepen that. It looks like I'm already getting a shine on this paper, which is not the greatest, but I am liking the texture. Taking this out, I don't think I have enough of an eyebrow here. Right, let's have a look. I'm just going to use my blender to put in the top of that. This line comes down here, and we want that straight line again. Okay, that looks great. We're definitely making great progress on this. And if I look at her eyelashes, we've got eyelashes that come up. Not a lot of them, but there's enough of them to make an impact on here. And I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to put in that line. There we go. Just going to take it up ever so slightly. Right, I think that looks pretty good. So that is the left eye. It's darker here, so we'll get that in, and there's darker here. Let's get that in. And we can again get this dark in that side. Right, I think we are. I think it's looking absolutely stunning. Okay, let's work over here on this side. Let's blend that out. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shadows. I love this. I love this model. I think it gives us a lot to use with what we have learnt from previous lessons. So I am going to, if I look at this in line there and I look at what I have done, I'm going to take this right over, because I think I've taken it a little bit too far over, and that's where I've gone wrong on the hair. So I'm going to take it to here, like that. This is all dark, so that doesn't matter, but this I think I'm just going to lift out. And if I look between there and there, I have got that right. So that's pretty good. We've got her hair, the shadows of her strands of her hair. You can take that out there. Just very, very dark out there on that area. Now, little bit. Let's do her nostril. So this nostril has got a very, very definite shape to it. Just doing it very, very lightly. You can see this shape. Comes around. Side goes out. This side comes down, or around should I say, quite far. So we'll do that. And then we can shade in here, but don't shade in the whole of her nostril because you can move the graphite out because it fades out on this side. So we don't want to have the same tone throughout the nostril because that's not how it looks. And on this side here we have that. So we have this shadow right up against there, comes down, and there's quite a lot of black in this area here. So we can get that right. And then we can just move that graphite around as well. It's a lovely shadow on this nose of hers. Right, let's have a look and see. Get that down there. And move it across. You know that even though today is overcast and it's been raining and it's a sort of coolish, it is still so humid. Crazy weather. Not complaining, but my room is hot here where I draw, and I have the fan on. That's that. If you can hear that constant white noise in the background, that's what it is. Okay. I think that is all right for her nose. I just want to get this over here because that is a beautiful little point here. This comes across. I want to get that. And then she's got a shadow across here. This comes down. Right. That's looking very, very good indeed. Okay, I want to get this shadow in. Then we can take the hair out. So you can see that I am putting it in where I see that it's darkest, and then we can move it around into the areas where it blends out into nothing. Still just the 4B, nothing too dark or too rich. A bit of a shadow here, comes around. There's a very, very big shadow here. It's under her wrist, and I want to get that. I want to get this down. So I think that this is quite an important part of this drawing. And then there's a shadow underneath here. Goes up and over. So apologies if you can hear my next door neighbor, but they are literally right across from me. We live in apartment blocks, and as I said to you earlier on, being Christmas, there are a lot of people on the estate. Them being some of them, they're not always here, but their balcony is right next to my studio here. Oh, sorry, no, I'm going in front of the camera here. Quite difficult to do this section without going across the camera. So apologies for that. Just want to get this line in here because you want to get that, you want to show that this is a bracelet. It's not silver, I'm not quite sure what it is, it just looks like black rubber of some sort, or black something or the other. Apologies, this video is quite long, this tutorial is quite long, but you can stop it at any stage, and I would really appreciate it if you have enjoyed this, that you like and subscribe and tell your friends about it, because that is what keeps me going. I don't get paid, so these tutorials are what I love doing. I love teaching people how to draw. So if you can tell your friends, and I can get more subscribers and likes and everything else that goes with YouTube, obviously it helps me to keep going. Just want to get this line just a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Comes up here, so that is incorrect. Just take that out. I love how as one goes along with a drawing, you can actually pick up errors and rectify them. Graphite is so forgiving, especially the way that we're doing it now. If you start off lighter and you build, you definitely set yourself up for being able to rectify whatever mistakes you feel that you have made down the line. So it really is better to start off very, very light. So I'm just putting in this detail here, this detail of the jersey, on the edge of the jersey. And I just want to put this in with pencil on her hair, give it some direction. And we've got some lovely shadows here, so shadow here, and we can literally use this blender to blend it out and put in some of these shadows. Because we are using a toned paper, it's going to be quite difficult to take out these hairs. It's the only unfortunate thing about it, but I still think unless we put graphite down on this entire area and then start pulling it out. However, you don't want to be doing that, because we're using the toned paper, we're using it as the actual lightest tone. So it was something I didn't think about, but I don't think it's a train smash. I think we can all look past that, hopefully. Considering how beautiful this is looking and how this is coming out. I'll just use this for putting in those streaks of hair, the shadows in between. I think that that's looking pretty good. This comes around down here. There we go. So we can actually just take out a couple of these just to give it a bit more. So that it does tell the viewer that this is hair. It's working quite well. You still need to clean off your eraser. Please don't forget to do that as you start pulling hair out, because it does the graphite does sit on it, and then you end up with a putting graphite into the actual drawing instead of removing it. So do be aware of that, and then you can use your kneaded eraser just to pick up those little bits of debris. Very, very lightly though. Do not obviously use the eraser, the kneaded eraser, and think that by smudging it you're going to pick it up, because it's not going to. It's going to actually it's going to remove. It'll definitely remove graphite. So you do need to be careful. You just need to pick up those little bits of debris and not remove. Okay, I'm removing this little highlight that's showing here. So I'm going to remove that highlight. Just going to come in here. This is a bit stark, so I just want to make that a bit, make that line a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Softer. That's what I'm looking for. And then here, it is softer as well. Okay, so we can start working on the lips. But before I do that, I'm actually going to put in a few darker hairs. So let's see. So I'm pretty sure that that is going to add to it. It needs to be very, very organic. It needs to come off the end of your pencil. And sort of randomly, try not to do it with too much of a plan. We can always soften it if we don't like it. So we can take our blender and just blend it out and soften it that way. Be very, very careful with your blender again. Remember that it does have graphite on it, and you don't want to be putting in too much, although we can remove with our Tombow. What I'm doing with this is I'm just softening it and putting in directional lines so that the brain picks up that. No, I mean obviously this is hair, the brain would have already picked that up, but just that it has a lot of movement and a lot of flow to it. So there we go. I do think that that does add to it. I think that it actually adds quite a lot to it. I just want to darken this here. We have a very, very dark area here. So like I said to you, the kids are having a great time playing outside, and it's just so amazing to hear them. There haven't been as many fights as I thought that there would be. It's been one or two, but all in all, pretty good, I would say, considering that they've kind of been thrown at each other. I don't think on the estate here we have a lot of families that have arrived, and I don't think that, you know, they all know each other. They kind of just meet on the grass and sort of met each other there. So I must say it's been very, very good indeed. I heard one child saying, "I'm not your friend anymore." But other than that, they have been really, really good. I was going to extend this knitted pattern across here. Just use the edge of your, you just want to put it in, you don't want to make it perfect. It's just so that the eye can see and the brain knows that that is a knitted pattern of sorts, or a pattern of sorts. Right, we're going to move into the mouth now, and we're just going to do this gently, nothing too just following that same shape as we put down. And across this side. And remember what I said to you, that the graphite moves around a lot, so be careful how much you put on, because we are going to be blending this out, especially here. So rather put on less, and then you can always add some. It's going to put lower than what the chin is, so I'm doing it lower so that you get that H, that 2H. You can see the edge of it, and you get the benefit of having put it in there. And then I'm going to put this in here. You can see that I'm not taking it all the way. I actually want to remove this here like this. And now we're going to blend. So this comes up a bit. There's quite a solid line there on this edge, the same as the eyebrow. So we do want to get that in, because we do want lost and found edges. So this would be a found edge and the others would all be lost. And I'm going to take this here, continue with this here, because this really is all one shape. And you can see how much this graphite moves around with the amount that I've put down. You can see how much I'm getting out of it as I blend it. And just look at the shape, make sure that you keep following the shape, make sure that you keep blending towards that shape. So now we're going down, we're going under the chin, so I'm not taking it up into that 2H that I used there. I'm moving it around to this area here so that that's all smooth, because we want to get that transition of those tonal values. We can move into this area, blend that out. Just have a look at it, as I keep saying, have a look at it, have a look at the shape of it, and just keep moving your stump with the shape of it as you see it. Right, so I'm going to take out some here. I feel that I haven't given her enough of a chin, and I need to give her more of a bottom lip. And like I said to you, this is what I love about graphite, because you can actually rectify it as you go along. all of your shapes and everything that you put down. So I want this edge to be lighter. So now I'm lifting it out. You can see that I'm lifting it out. And I'm lifting it out further than what I should be, because I'm going to take my blending stump and I'm going to blend that out so that I have so I've gone back to the paper and then I've used my blending stump just to soften that edge and take my chin a bit lower. So I'm just going back in here again just to I'm going to wipe off my blending stick because I want to be able to have a very, very light shade here, the transition of this into this dark area here. There we go. I think that that's starting to look better. I'll take it up here. You can see how much the graphite moves around. There we go. I think that that looks magnificent. I hope that it does. I hope that you've all enjoyed it. And I hope that you've enjoyed seeing where things can go wrong and how you can fix them very, very easily with this medium. This is what is so fabulous about it. Just want to get a bit more tonal value here. Just at this crease of her lip, because I do feel that that is where the shadow really sits on lips. Get that shape. There we go. I think that that looks better. I hope it does. That there, this there, this hard edge, this soft edge comes down, goes into there. And I'm going to quickly deepen this shadow. This is very deep underneath her lip, her bottom lip. Goes up into there and it comes down here. There we go. So I do hope, as I said, that you have enjoyed this and that you have learned a lot with regards to shading and blending and measuring, and that you can see that even if you do make mistakes like I have done, that you can rectify it really easily, and that you, above all, you should be having fun, enjoying it, and just loving the process. I mean, this is just what I love about graphite. I just love the absolute process of it, and everything that one can do with it. It's just a phenomenal product. Your blending stump, you know, can obviously be used as a tool for not only blending but for adding in hairs like we just saw now. You know, the detail for the hair. It really does give you a lot of various ways of using it, and also using it for drawing. So I do hope that you continue. Next week is Christmas. For those of you who are celebrating it, I do hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I do hope that it's filled with family, and I hope that it's joyous, and don't eat too much. And I'm going to be doing a video. I will be doing a tutorial because I think Christmas is on a Wednesday, so I can do one. Hopefully I don't forget when Friday is again, like I have done this week. Yes, and I'll see you all then. Have an awesome week, everybody. And those of you, as I say, who are celebrating, enjoy your family. Stay safe. Above all, stay safe. Look after each other and make sure that you all stay together and have a great time. Happy holidays, everybody. Bye.